Hey, hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. I am Siddhartha Hazra, and today we would be discussing the Geeks for Geeks Weekly Coding Contest 150, and this is the post contest analysis. So, before we start talking about what is the solution and what are the intuition behind them, let us first talk about the problems overall. What was the feedback from my side? So this time, the problems looked a bit on the difficult side. There were four problems, and they were good. There was a good balanced among all of them. But what I think of is that if you're not very good with constructive algorithms, I would take the second problem as the first one if you're not good with constructive algorithms. But if you are coming from a background where you are very good with constructive algorithms, then this contest is well balanced. But the people like who are just okay, solution always like comes, but after the contest, okay, we would talk about those all. So let's talk about the very first problem. The very first problem, if I talk about the intuition overall for all the problems, okay, so let's talk about the string reboot problem. In the string reboot problem, the very small intuition that needs to be understood is the very small observation is that instead of trying to make A as B or B as A, we can both come to a common ground. What I meant to say is that if you are given two people and this person should change and this person should change some qualities to become him or some qualities to become him, then it is tiresome. But if you look that we can both come to a common ground and then see if we both can become this person or not. अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ वी आर गिवन, मुझे दो स्ट्रिंग दिए गए, मुझे दोनों पे कुछ ऑपरेशन करके इक्वल करना है दोनों को, तो आइदर मैं इसको इसके कुछ पार्ट्स इक्वल करूं या इसके कुछ पार्ट्स इक्वल करके दोनों को इक्वल करूं, इसके जगह मैं इसमें फोकस करूं कि एक फाइनल स्ट्रिंग, दोनों को एक फाइनल स्ट्रिंग में कन्वर्ट करने का. दिस इज द इंट्यूशन ऑफ द फर्स्ट. ओके, दिस इज द इंट्यूशन. Let's talk about the very next one, that is substring and the permutation. This is comparatively on the easier side. एक पेन और पेपर में लिख के देखोगे तो you would understand what needs to be done. And this is a pen paper solution. Okay, the last one is the maximum point. So what I say is this is just a small modification of frog jump 1 or frog jump to the very classical problem of at coder DP contest. So इस पे what needs to be done is आपको पता चल जाएगा कि these kind of problems are just a variation of the standard problems. So if you are not able to solve this problem, you need to be good with the standard problems of dynamic programming. The very last problem, I would say that you need to be very good with bit manipulation to solve up the last problem. But it becomes easy if you have seen a problem like this before. Like this problem is broken down into two pieces. Okay, and iska solution ek bar mein I can't give you the intuition, but this is just narrowing down from n square to n. Okay, narrowing down from n square to n. And whenever you don't care about indexes, ओके एक बार छोटा सा एक इंट्यूशन देता हूं. देखो यहाँ पे वी जस्ट नीड टू फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ पेयर्स एंड हियर द ओरिजिनल इंडेक्स डज नॉट मैटर. व्हेन द ओरिजिनल इंडेक्स डज नॉट मैटर एंड व्हेन द ओरिजिनल इंडेक्स डज नॉट मैटर देन वी कैन सॉर्ट इट. और अगर सॉर्ट करने के बाद पेयर्स ढूंढने हैं तो दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑफ 2 पॉइंटर्स. ऐसे करके these are all the different intuitions or these are all the different pathways जो आपको solution की तरफ ले जाएगी. Okay, fair enough. Now let's move forward to the editorials of these all problems. ठीक है, am I clear with these all things? Just give me a quick 0 or 1. मतलब यहाँ तक am I clear? My voice is clear. Do I need to turn off this fan, or my voice is like glittering a little bit or something? Okay, let me just turn off the fan. Okay, now I think the room is very well quiet and the audio quality would be fabulous. So if you are able to comprehend till this point, just give me a one. मुझे पता चल जाएगा. अरे it's fine. The quality, like the if one person is suffering for these many people, it's fine. Okay, chalo. And to be honest, not just suffering. This is just a matter of 1.5 hours. Chalo. सब मिलके see. सब मिलके let's do this kind of discussion. मैं यहाँ पे kind of I am not going to give the editorials and move forward. See, the whole objective of this stream would be not just editorial, but next time when you see a problem around this, you would be able to solve this. The thinking process. Okay, here you are just here for the thinking process and the editor or the ideas which you can take here from. These are the two objective of this. This is the whole objective of upsolving. Okay, chalo, let's start with the very first problem. Okay, in the first problem, what you are given, let me first copy these two. And here you go. और सब बढ़िया. After a long period of time, I am taking the weekly. After a very long period of time, there was once a point of time where every weekly was taken by me. Then I got busy with some other commitments, and now again I'm back, and I'm planning to do this on a regular basis. Okay, no, I would go with the flow. If you are here for the fourth question, just for the fourth question, and you don't care about all the other three, you can just wait a bit. But I would say कि हमेशा एक अलग perspective से देखने की कोशिश कर. Okay, I would go with the flow. The very first problem would be string boot. Next, substring and permutation, maximum points, and array operations. Good enough. Chalo, let's move forward. Chalo, let me just share my whole screen and नहीं वो सोचना कैसे है. देखो, here you are given two binary string. Okay, it is told that it would start with 0 and end with 1. Now what you can really do, okay, choose an index 0 to 0. Okay, fair enough. Chalo, what are the small observation we have? Let us discuss those. See, here you are given two strings and both of them would start with 0 and end with 1. Okay, these things would change, but 0 and 1 in the start and the end is fixed enough. Okay, what is the operation that you can do? You need to take, let's say 0 1 0 1, and then this is 0. So you need to take L and R, then convert all the values in between L and R with the value of L. So if there is 0 and 0 and you want to convert this substring, all this substring would be converted to 0. And remember, you can take up this value. Okay, how the first one is coming up? The very first one is coming up because, let me see the very first one, how the very first one is coming up. See, यहाँ पे what we can really do is we can take up this, okay, we can take up this and this, and then, so it is told, no, let me just say it.
just a sec. See what we can really do. Let me just take a green pen. Yep. So see, what we can really do is, if you ask me, I would take this 0 to 0. I would take this 0 to 0. And then I would convert every one of them to 0. Yes, Sara values, all these values would be converted to 0. All these values would be converted to 0. And I would have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. And that is why the output is here as 1. Okay. Now, the very next thing, what I would do here in this case, see, I would convert 0 to 0 till this point. But here the next point is not here. So here I can cater these all as equal, but see 0, 1 and 1, 1 can never be converted. Can never be converted. Okay. So now this is why the output to this is 0. Now a small observation is, if you observe this explanation, like अगर यही सैंपल टेस्ट केस का एक्सप्लेनेशन ये रहता, जैसे मैंने जिस वे में कन्वर्ट किया दोनों को, अगर द सैंपल एक्सप्लेनेशन वाज दिस, यू कुड हैव सॉल्व्ड दिस प्रॉब्लम. But the explanation of the sample test case is given in such a way that you won't get to the solution. This is done intentionally so that the solution is not evident enough. Okay, so the first learning what I like, ये बहुत learning होता है beginner phase में, कि ये explanation नहीं देखना है. In ad hoc problems you don't need to see this explanation. You try to solve it on your own and then see. आपको ये explanation देखना ही नहीं है. For you this explanation should not exist. This explanation should only be used to understand the problem statement, not to understand the example test case. अब now what is the solution for this? Okay, ये बेसिकली ऐसा ही होता है. प्रॉब्लम सेटर भी ऐसे ही करते हैं जानबूझ के, so that you don't get near to the solutions. Okay, now what you can really do is, if somewhere here it is 0, let's say we know that the string would be contributed of 0 and 1 in the start and the end. So if what you can do is, if let's say there are many characters like this, so let's say at any point you just take this as 0 and here it is 1. So what you can do is, you can select up this substring and convert all of them and make it 0 using this. Then you can select all this substring, consider this character, make all of this as 1. Make sense? अब दोनों को ऐसा ही कन्वर्ट करने की कोशिश करो. ओके, जैसे ये किया. See, again doing the sample test case from the scratch so that you have a better idea what I am talking about. See, 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay, and this is 0 1 1 1 and then 0 1 0 1. So what I can really do is, देखो, I can take up this and convert it to 0 0 0. I can take up this, convert it to 1 1 1 1 1. I can do this. Okay, here also I can take up, here also I can take up till this point. Yep, till this point. यहाँ से नहीं, यहाँ वाला. Yep, we can take up the substring of both of them, make them as 1. Okay, 2 2 4 and this is. Okay, so now what is the condition where we won't be able to do this? ये समझना है मुझे. देखो, ये intuition है. What is the condition when we won't be able to do it? Okay, if this is the condition, we can do it. But if let's say it is something like this, यहाँ पे problem क्या था? Let's see what is the problem. देखो, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, here we have 0, 1, 1, and then 0, 1, 1, and here we have 0, 1, 1. We have something like this. Okay, अब देखो यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम क्या था, क्यों कन्वर्ट नहीं कर पाएंगे, वाई कांट वी कन्वर्ट. सी, if we take up this is equal, this is equal, because s of l and s of r should be equal. यहाँ पर भी equal है, यहाँ पर भी equal है. We can make the whole string as 0. We can do this. But here we can't have s and l equal, क्योंकि यहाँ पे condition दिया हुआ है ना, we need to select l and r, and s of l should be equal to s of r. They should be equal. So we can't select a substring over here. This is causing the issue. Okay. So now this is the invalid condition that would tell us. So am I clear till this point? The ऐसा ही invalid condition हो जाएगा. We can't select a 1. अब I would tell you more. First tell me if I'm clear till this point or not. देखो, if there is a condition like this, we can make like this. यहाँ पर भी we can do the same thing. But देखो यहाँ पे this can become 0, 0. This can be, sorry, this can become 1, 1. But this 0, 1 can't be modified into anything. 0, 1 can't be modified into 1, 1 or 0, 0. Am I clear that this can't be modified? Am I clear? Just give me a quick one. 0 and 0, 1 can't be modified. Just give me a quick one. Just give me a quick one. Okay, we have little bit of the same problem. Please explain. No, okay. I'm clear that this can't happen. Okay. So what is basically the invalid condition? Just let me check the comments. Okay. Let me present the whole screen. Okay. We have this. Okay. Now 0, 1 can't be converted. So whenever we have this condition that this is 0, okay, and this is 1, okay, and this is also 0, okay, this is also 0, and this is 1. Whenever we have this condition in any of them, let's say this would be 0, I know, here it would be 1, here it would be 0, here it would be 1. Okay, देखो ये दोनों फिक्स्ड है लास्ट में. Here we have any of the characters. देखो how beautifully we can convert. जब भी we have this condition that this current part is 0 and that part is 1, then we can convert all of this, then we can convert all of this to 0 and all of this to 1 for both of them. Now let's try this out. Let's try this out for the first string. Now let's try this out. ऐसा है क्या? Now see. Okay, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, see. here we can take up this and we can take up this and we can convert all of them to here. This part would be converted to 0, this part would be converted to 1. How? Again showing you in a better view. देखो 0 0 है, both are 0 0, so we can convert that side, and this is also equal equal, this is L again, this is R again, this is L and R, so we can convert this to 1 and this to 0. So this would become something like 0 0 and 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So both become equal and we come to the conclusion. यहाँ पे ऐसा कोई condition है 0 0, so this should become 0 0 and this should become 1 1, and यहाँ पे we have 1 1 standing here, we have 0 0 standing here. We know this. These two are here to this 0 is to support here, this 1 is to support here. We know that. So अगर मुझे ऐसा कोई भी condition मिला, I would convert these all to 0, I would convert these all to 1. Now the solution here is, so let me just show you the solution. Okay, so what I did is, first I took that this is not valid. Now we started searching. Okay, so let's say the current here is 0 as explained, was 0, यहाँ पे 1, this is 0 and this is b plus 1 means 1, this is 0 and 1. Okay, so I would take a snapshot and then explain you. Today explanation of, like, I won't write the code from scratch, rather I would explain this. Just wait a sec. Yep. So see, what are we basically doing? See, we started counting from 0, and then this, let's say this is the string A and this is the string B. If at any point this is equal to 0, okay, and the very next character, this is equal to 1, then we go to the next if statement. You can just nest out all the 4 conditions together also. Okay, then if this is equal to this, that means 0 is equals to 0, and this is equals to this, that means this is 1. Whenever we have a substring like this, common substring like this in any of A and B, we mark it as true, that yes, this can be converted, and we return it. If we don't find this condition, it would preserve as false and we would return it. Am I clear with the solution of the first problem? Give me a quick one so that I can move forward to the next problem. Give me a quick 0 or 1. This is me, Siddhartha Hazra. Jaldi. So it asks us to return a true or false. The driver code after that prints 0 or 1. Sound minus minus. What is this thing? Any problem here? So what is this driver code issue? Output 1 and 0. Okay, 1 and 0 is fine enough. So what is the driver code doing? Yep, no issues. I hear you, fine. Okay, chalo, clear? Let's move to the next problem. ये comparatively on the easier side है. देखो, अब I would again take a screenshot. Okay, so This was a long weekend for working professional. कितने working professional हैं and how many of you went for long weekend? People who would, I think the people who would watch this post contest analysis later, okay, are the people who are enjoying their long weekend and वो बाद में contest देके अब solve करेंगे. Okay, चलो. देखो बच्चा ध्यान से देखना. Okay, so you are given a string of length n and character of strings. Okay, this is the string that is given. बोला क्या गया है कि to make 088 how far you need to go. Okay, this is just like what I would say is this is just like this. Compare this that this is what ये क्या है मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूं. Okay, compare this as a strip of land. Okay, बचपन में वो कहानी सुनते थे. Let's say this is a strip of land where farming is made, and this is the plant of type 0, this is the plant of type 6, this is the plant of type 4, this is the plant of type 8, this is the plant of type 1. Let's say ये सारे 0 to 9 जो है they are the types of plant in a strip. Okay, let's hear a story. Okay, ऐसा एक स्टोरी है. सोचो एक स्ट्रिप है, स्ट्रिप ऑफ लैंड है, and these are the different types of plants planted in a row. 0 से शुरुआत होती है एंड तक यहां तक जाती है. Let's enumerate them. Let's give some indices to them. Okay, so देखो जैसे रो टाइप में है. So this is the index 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. Okay, fair enough. Now it is told that what I want is I want the plants 088. I want the plants 088. So I would go and plug this 0. Now the next plant I want is 8. So I would go and cross this 8. Next I would go and cross this 8. How far I went? I went till the index 6. That means I went till the 7th plant to collect the values. This is just like these are the different types of plants and these are the different crops they want, and they are asking how far you need to go. Okay, this is just like, let's say my father is farming and he has all these plants in a strip. He asks me, I want you to collect 088, the type of plant 088. How far you need to go from the house, because he is very concerned about me. अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो लेट्स से मेरे पापा खेती करते हैं और वो स्ट्रिप ऑफ लैंड है जिसमें 0 से लेके 9 तरह के प्लांट्स लगे हुए. वो बोले कि मुझे 0 और 88 के प्लांट्स चाहिए, 88 के 2 प्लांट्स चाहिए और 0 चाहिए. कितना दूर घर से तुम्हें जाना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो आई टोल्ड वो लास्ट जो 8 वाला था ना उसके लिए 7th रो तक जाना पड़ेगा. So the maximum I need to go is 7. This is what is asked in the question. Now there is one small observation कि these can be rearranged. That just means कि जरूरी नहीं कि if my father is asking 088, I need to collect 088 in the order. I can collect 8, then 0 and then 8. Why? Because after that I can rearrange. कहां पर लिखा हुआ है? सिद्धार्थ बोल तो देता हूं, लिखा हुआ कहां पर है? Okay, denotes the minimum to construct any possible permutation. Possible permutation मतलब क्या? अगर मैंने 88 का 88 कलेक्ट कर लिया, 808 कलेक्ट कर लिया, तो उसका एक परम्यूटेशन 088 होगा. यही पूछने चाह रहे हैं. This is what is the depiction of the problem. Am I? Yes, I'm good enough. No issues. Okay, यही पूछना चाह रहे हैं. So अब if you're able to comprehend this problem and draw out the test cases like this, then this problem becomes easy. Now, if I want 364, I would go and strike out first 3. I would 3 kitna tak hai? I would go and find 3. This is 3. Then I would go and find 6. And then I would go and find 4. I would try to find the characters from the front because मैं ज़्यादा दूर जाना नहीं चाहता. कितना कम दूर जाके I can collect the plants. This is what is asked. So the maximum far I need to go is till the 9th character. That means till the 9th index means 10th character to collect 3. So I would say, father, to have the plants 364, I need to go till the position 10. So he said, okay, this is the maximum farthest position you need to go. Now my father wants me to do, my father wants me to build, to find crops which does not exist. That is 0 and 7. So I found out 0, but I can't really find 7. Father, one crop is missing, what you are asking. So he would say, one crop is missing, that means you don't need to go out. So whenever you don't need to go out, just return -1 here. Okay, this is what is asked in the question. समझ में आ गया? Now, what is the solution of this problem? Like, कैसे सोचेंगे? What is? See, end of the day, you just need to find the farthest index, and that index +1 would be your answer. इतना तो मुझे करके पता चल गया. Farthest index +1 would be my answer. By doing this, first tell me if I'm clear with the test cases or not. अगर टेस्ट केसेस ही समझ ना आया, then there is no point in telling you. First tell me if this test case is clear or not with this story. Give me a quick 0 or 1. जल्दी से 0 और 1 देना तो जल्दी से बच्चा. Give me a quick 0 or 1. Okay, what if both, and there is no instance where what if both strings are equal and there is no instance where the condition is met? That would, I think so given a string reboot. Okay, given both the characters, you can perform any number of things. Choose 2 characters and then turn all the characters. Formally you can choose, so let's say this is 0 1 0 1 1. Okay, let's say everything is 0. Let's say everything is 0 and this is 1. Still this condition would be met. There won't be any string. करके देखो. 0 1 1. Okay, so 0 and 1, and let's say here it is 1. There won't be any string. Yep. Am I clear with the clear one? We are guaranteed it is not possible to have 0 1. Yep. Chalo. There are only 2-3 people. There won't be any string. मैंने कंफर्म कर लिया. एक पल के लिए मैं भी घबरा गया था. And this happens while you are just streaming. Okay. चलो. Let's move forward. वो just 0 or 1 है ना, that makes the difference. अब देखो. I didn't get any 0, so I would just assume that everyone is clear with this. Okay. So now what I really need to do, मैं कुछ ऐसा कर सकता हूँ क्या? See, I would start storing the index. See, for 0, what are the different index I have? This is for index 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. Okay, let's say this is, so I found out 0, so I gave here 0. These are the characters and these are the index that they appear. So 0, I find out 0. 6 appeared in the index 1. 4 appeared in the index 2. 8 appeared in the index 3. सिर्फ काउंट नहीं करना. Why? Because the farthest index matters. Okay, then we can go to 1 and then we can write for 1 the answer is 4. For 1 the answer is 4. Then for 9 the answer is 5. For 8 the answer is 6. We would just go and hash them. For 4 the answer is 7. For 8 the answer is 8. Okay, for 3 the answer is 9. For next 3 the answer for 3 the answer is 9. For 9 the answer is 10. And for 8 the answer is 11. अब देखो what is asked. 0 is asked once and 8 is asked twice. Now first we would store for each index, for each of the characters 0 to 1, we would store the indexes in the occur. First we would build a map like this. ऐसा कर सकते हैं, we would just याद रख ले. Then this is the kind of implementation at the end of the day. 0 कितना मांगा गया है? 1. So I would go and hit. We know that as we progress further, the indexes would increase. So for getting 1 0, I would directly hit for the first index. And if I want 2 zeros, I would hit the second index. अगर मुझे 2 0 चाहिए. If I want 3 8, I would go and hit. If I want 4 8, I would go and hit the fourth index. If I want 3 8, I would go and hit the third index. If I want 2 8, I would go and hit this index. This is the idea. ये kind of एक implementation way. धीरे धीरे you would have this all tips and tricks. मैं ऐसे करके directly I can know that if let's say 4 8 is asked, how far I need to go. If let's say 4 8 is asked, how far I need to go, I can directly go and jump on the fourth index of where it is kept on it. But let's say if 5 8 are asked, that is greater than the size of the 8. So if that is greater than the size of the 8, yaad rakhna, if 5 8 are asked and 5 indexes does not exist, so we would report -1. So now we would build out the answer. If we start processing the very first index, we are told that 0 एक बार चाहिए. So we would go and hit the first index of 0. We would say that the value is 0. Okay. अभी तक के लिए 0 is our answer. Then we want 2 8s. So I would go and hit the second index. So I want 6. So अभी तक maximum कितना दूर तक जाना पड़ा? 6th index तक. So the answer would be the maximum index plus 1, that would make it 7. That is why the answer is 7. Now let's process the next string. We want 3 ones, that is 9. 3 ones, 6 ones, 6, that is value is 1. 4 ones, that value is 2. So out of 9 1 2, which is the maximum, that is 9. So 9 plus 1 is equals to 10. That is why the answer is 10. अब देखो लास्ट में -1 वाला कंडीशन. सी वही टेस्ट केस से मैं तुम्हें आंसर बता रहा हूँ. ओके, सो वी वांट 1 0. द वैल्यू ऑफ 1 0 is 0. Then we want 1 7. We go to 7. Okay, ये गलत से लिख दिया था गलती से. We want 1 7. But we don't have any elements here. 1 7 होगा नहीं, गलती से लिख दिया होगा. But we don't have any elements. So if the number of plant asked is more than what we have, if less than is more than what we have, we would report -1. That is why we would report here -1. How would we do it? Let me explain you. Am I clear with the solution? मतलब मैं क्या करूंगा, हर एक character का index store कर लूंगा, and I know that the number of different characters would be just 0 to 9, that is 10 characters. And this is also written in the question. How to process 2 8.
हाउ टू प्रोसेस 2 8, देखो मैं बता रहा हूँ, फिर से जाता हूँ। हाउ टू प्रोसेस 2 8, मैं बताता हूँ ना, मेरा काम ही है बताना। तुम्हारा काम है कमेंट और फीडबैक देना, अच्छा फीडबैक देना। इफ आई वांट 2 8, I know that the second 8 is located in the second index. So if I want 2 8, I would just go and directly go to the second index of this one. If I want 3 8, I would directly hit this. How far I need to go? 8. कैसे होगा इंट्यूशन में बता भी देता हूँ। मतलब क्या है ना कि मैं हर एक एलिमेंट का इंडेक्सेस लीनियरली स्टोर कर लिया। सी, दिस इज जस्ट लाइक the Bajra. Okay, Bajra. So my name is, so just a little bit of story. I would explain this. So क्या है कि my name is Hazra. So in my school days, people used to like the Bajra crop is taught in the geography. So in my school days, back on those school days, people used to make fun of me by calling me Bajra Bajra. Okay, so let's go back to this problem. Let's say I I have grown Bajra and my father has grown Bajra, and has he has like there is a strip of land, so he has planted bajra on index 0, on index 3, and index 4, and index 5, okay, and index 9. So I want if my father wants if my father wants 3 bajras, how far I need to go, minimum कितना दूर जाना पड़ेगा? I would directly go and see 4, and I would return this. If my father has asked 5 bajras, I would directly go and hit this. So same kind of this is done. If I want 6 to 8, I would directly go and hit the second index. यहाँ पे मैं हर एक क्रॉप की लोकेशन स्टोर कर रहा हूँ इन द सॉर्टेड मैनर सो दैट मुझे मिनिमम जगह मिले. Okay, this is it. Do I make sense? Give me a quick 0 or 1. We can just check the frequencies of characters using lower bound. Absolutely, absolutely. This is a very intuitive thing what we can do. Very intuitive. But I think so people who don't know lower bound, that would be an overkill. Yeah. Huh. I also thought of this. Am I clear with the solution? Give me a quick 1 or 0 at least. There are 32 people live here. 1 or 0 तो expect कर ही सकता हूँ. Now let me show you the solution then. I didn't receive any 0. So I would move forward. ऐसा मत करो. मुझे कम रिप्लाई आएगा तो मुझे पढ़ाने में मजा आएगा बताओ. So what I did was I started iterating and I just inserted all the index. I drew out a map like that. Okay. Then I counted कितने crops कितने तरह के चाहिए. This is just like counting कितने crops कितने तरह के चाहिए. Then if the number of crops needed is more than what we have, we would return -1 and we would break for this current string. Else, we would just go to that, we would find that index, add 1 to it, because this is 1 index and that is 0 index. Add 1 to it, and the maximum of that would be my answer. Simple enough. Okay? Makes sense? Okay, I did already did the dry run. Okay, now let's move forward to the last problem. Sorry, third last problem. So the second last problem. Okay, so look, here
Now let us paste this. Okay, now let me share this. See, it is told that at each point, okay, at each point we have A and B. Okay, now if I jump on this, I would get A points, but I need to skip the next B indexes. क्या मतलब है इसका? क्या मतलब? Okay, now see, kind of, this is not kind of, this is that if I jump on this, I would get 3 and I need to exclude the next two. So next two को exclude करना. Then I can make a jump to this again. So if I jump here, I would get 2 again and I need to exclude them. So the value is equal to 5. This is how the value 5 is here. I need to exclude. Okay, first index would be my price and the next index would be the point where I need to exclude it. Okay, fair enough. Now the point, like what is basically asked in this, like कैसे सोचा जाए? See, the objective here is if I select A, if I have A and B, if I have A and B, then if I select this A, I need to skip next B items. अब इसमें ना काफी कश्मकश सा है. If this value is good enough, let's say this value is 1 lakh or something, 1 lakh. If this value is 1 lakh and it is telling me to skip all the items, seems lucrative. Like let's say what I meant is ऐसा हो सकता है. Let's say this value is 100 and it is telling me to skip 5 items. And here we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like this. So in this state, like from here, it is very good to take a jump here and get this 100 and skip all the next 5. यहाँ पे which we can focus is, अगर points ज़्यादा है, if we can focus on points, if the points are more, then we can focus on that. But ऐसा हमेशा सही नहीं होगा, ऐसा हमेशा profitable नहीं होगा. Why? Because let's say this value is 3, not 3. Let's say this value is 2. If this value is 2 and we are focusing on points, then I would take this 2 and skip all the 5 items. I would take this 2 and skip all the 5 items because 2 बाकी सारे points से ज़्यादा है. I would take this 2. But if you see this closely, taking a jump of this is 3. Okay, taking a jump of this and this is more beneficial. देखो, what I meant is taking this path, that is selecting this, going out. The total point is 2. But instead of that, what we can do is we can take a jump here, we can take a jump here, then we can take a jump here. So now you can see that you can't really decide where we need to focus. Okay, kabhi, sometimes less points would sum up together and give you more value, or sometimes more points would give you more value than sum of all the rest of the values. So focus किस में करें? कभी ज्यादा पॉइंट्स के पास जा रहे हैं तो छोटे वाले एक साथ सम करके ज्यादा दे रहे हैं, कभी छोटे वाले के पास जा रहे हैं तो बड़ा इतना बड़ा हो रहा है कि सबको मात दे रहा है. Whenever you are in the middle of this confusion or kashmakash, whenever you can't really decide what to do, then like hota kya hai? When I can't decide, like let's say I can't decide if let's say I want to do like what is the general agenda of human mankind. India mein kaisa hota hai? When a person who is very good in studies and he can't really decide to go between medical or engineering and he likes both of them equally, like he's confused, then for the time being he would take PCM and PCB. There were some students in my batch, so वो क्या करते हैं, maths और like biology और maths दोनों ले लेते हैं. So they are trying out all possible ways. So जब भी आप कश्मकश में फंस जाओ and you need to try out both the ways, this just boils down to the conclusion that try all possible ways. और जब भी you come to the conclusion that you need to try all possible ways, try all possible ways just narrows down to recursion. अब बोलोगे recursion has a very high time complexity, how to lower it down? That is, just memorize it and then do dynamic programming. Add 2 lines to it, it would become optimized and you would be able to fly with ease. Now you would ask me that how to build up a recursive solution. That's true. So now let us talk about how to build up this recursive solution. Yes, I'm good enough. Okay, how to see this, how to build up this recursive solution. बहुत ज़्यादा टॉप डाउन बॉटम अप होते रहता है. ओके, कैसे सोचना है? सी, first in a recursion, what are the two things that we have? We have base case and then we have the recursive case. Let's talk about the base case. The base case is the smallest case that you can solve by yourself. So सबसे smallest case क्या होगा? When we don't have any elements. So when we don't have any elements, we would just return 0. But if you have some elements, what are the two things I can do? The two things I can do is what I can do. What I can do. I can consider that index. I can consider that point and skip next consecutive points. I can consider A points and skip B positions. And I can just move forward. I can just move. So if I consider, let's talk about first consider. If I consider it, okay, if I consider it, then I would add AI points to my answer and I would go to the next B index. And my next index would start from I plus B of I. I would skip B indexes. If I don't consider it, I would simply move forward. That is my score would remain the same. My score won't increase. Here the score would increase. Score plus A of I. Here the score would increase. Here the score would remain the same. And only I would move to I plus 1. That is, I won't consider this one. इसको skip करते हैं, next वाले में चलते हैं. अगर इसको skip करके next वाले में गया तो my score would remain the same. अगर मैंने इसको consider किया, so the score would increase and I would skip BI index. Fair enough? बस इतना ही है. Let's implement this and then we would talk about how to memorize it in the most easiest way. बस इतना ही सोचना है contest का time.
Am I clear with the solution? Just give me a quick 1 or 0. Up. The idea is very simple. If we don't have anything, we would return 0. Okay. Now you can ignore this at this point. Just ignore that. Now answer दो तरीके का maximum होगा. The very first one is we can directly just move forward and the score would remain the same. Just move forward. The next option is I need to add a of I to my answer and I need to skip the next few indexes. So I would skip few indexes and I would score a of I to my answer. And this is a simple recursive code. This is the given solution and simple recursion बस इतना ही बस 2 लाइन हटा दो. This is the solution. This is the solution. Just add 3 lines. This is the solution. Just 4 liner solution. इतना ही easy हो जाएगा अगर सही से recursion master कर लिया तो. This is recursion. You would get a time limit exceeded if you do this. Okay. Just add 3 lines and that would be done. Now you would ask me, Siddharth, how to memorize it in the best possible manner? Memorize करने के लिए don't need to think more. What are the parameters जो बदल रहे हैं? What are the dynamic parameters? Technical way में सोच लिया जाए तो. What are the dynamic parameters? If you observe, I is changing. Here I is I plus 1. Here is I plus something else. The given array remains the same. The size of the array remains the same. And the DP array is just to store the answer. So we can see only I is changing. So what is the lowest value of I? So I would start from 0. And if I is greater than n, we would hit the base case. So I need to memorize 0 to n minus 1. So I can declare an array of size n and initialize it with -1. So just look, there is nothing. So I would say that whosoever is saying 2D, 3D DP and 2D DP in different scenarios, this is a myth. The number of dynamic parameters would tell you the dimension of the dynamic problem solution. Number of dynamic, the way to memorize in the best possible manner is find out the number of dynamic parameters, then declare an array or a map of that dimension and then just memorize it. Simple enough. कुछ सोचना नहीं है 2D DP 3D DP ऐसा कुछ नहीं सोचना, उतना नहीं कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं करना. DP is just icing, just a decoration over recursion. Okay, I am clear with this. Give me a quick 1 or 0. Take not take. This is just, I can say, knapsack one. Now we would move forward to the last problem. Jaldi se batao. Give me a quick 0 or 1. Okay. IMO usually starting from the base case and building on it easier than finding recursive function and memorizing. Finding recursive function and memorizing. Personal choice. And on who learned what earlier and better. I think if you know dynamic programming, the very first problem you would solve are some Fibonacci series and then 0 1 knapsack. If you have solved 0 1 knapsack, this is just a take or non take. So TLE आ रहा है. Let's just see. ऐसा भी है क्या? Let's just first let's compile and do working successfully. No issues. Let's go to the very last problem. मजेदार है. Trust me, this is amazing. Okay, this is just amazing. Okay, can you explain the last condition added? कौन सा last condition? Just mention the line number. And if I just tell you explicitly, I would deserve a comment from your side. चलो बताओ अनिल कुमार. Just tell me the line number at which you are asking. We would wait 30 seconds for you. चलो बताओ जल्दी जल्दी. Just see it and then tell me. Sir, if you just check it on your side, no? That is more feasible. Anil Kumar, just tell me the line number quickly. Batana. There's nothing on the last one. I can't really move. I think he is gone or something. Okay, I think he is gone. So let's move forward. Okay, so now see. This is a good enough problem. Mhm. Line number 45. ये वाला line number 45. If dp is not equal to -1, ये वाला. Okay, so see, initially this is a part of the memoization. So I would just give you a brief and then you can talk about. See, मैंने क्या किया? I'm saving the answer of recursion with -1. So अगर मैंने देखा कि -1 का -1 ही है, that means the answer is not calculated and we are moving forward. But if there is no -1, that means the answer is calculated and kept there. So I return that. So you can this line, and this line. Learn about memoization a bit and you would understand this. Tell me a problem in these lines because this is the main workaround. Okay, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now see. So this is a complex level problem, I must say. Okay, this is a complex problem that we need to handle today. Okay, मजेदार है. Trust me, it's amazing. Okay, now see. Here the problem statement won't really be of much use because they are very small and they can't contribute to the explanation. So I would assume that you understood the problems. They're like sample test case because they are way too easy. Okay, chalo, let us understand what is asked in this. अब देखो, am I sharing the screen? चलो, I deserve a comment from you, Anil Kumar. Chalo, see, let's talk about this problem. By the way, I have already seen up this problem somewhere. Okay, that's why this was very evident to me. So what this problem tells us? This is telling us to find all the pair of ing, all the pair of ing, where I is less than j, on which this condition is true. That is a of I and with a of j and with a of
I plus A of j. That is okay, special operation, and we need to just consider all the indexes and add their value. Okay, like we need to do this on all I and j and contribute them to the answer. Okay, up the thinking process of this. See what the basic brute force application is that we would consider all I and j. We would sit on all I and iterate over all j. By the way, for the people who are coming to the fourth problem, I'm assuming that there are coders of like a little bit above beginner level. Okay, because मैं कुछ छोटी छोटी चीजें I won't really explain. यहाँ पे I would assume that you already know the properties of and you already know simple things. Okay, you already know what do you mean by modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 7 क्या होता है, like modulo arithmetic, that is a plus b whole modulo m is equals to a modulo m b modulo m plus whole modulo m. You know all this, I would assume. Okay, now if you don't know, you can just learn about this and then come back to this video. Here I would assume that you know modulo arithmetic, you know the properties of and, then you are trying to solve up this problem. Okay, now if you don't know, I would suggest not to solve up this problem, else your motivation would go a little bit on the lower side. क्या होता है कि if you know of let's say level 10 and you're trying to solve level 100, then you realize that you don't know anything and then you get demotivated. मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है. This is a personal choice, you can do it whatever you want. Let's move forward to this. अब देखो, the very first simple solution is I can consider all I and j's, give up the sum and return it, but that won't really serve the purpose. Why? Because there are 10 to the power 5 elements and that would be an n square operation. So 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 is greater than 10 to the power 8, so you would get a TLE, that is time limit exceeded. So ये तो नहीं हो सकता भैया, कुछ और बताओ. इतना तक राम कथा आप सोच चुके होंगे, I would assume that you already know this narrative. Okay, now let's move forward. Now let's see. See, the point is that if you want to do a n square operation, that is, you need to take hold of A and you need to find all the respective B's for it. You need to take hold of I and you need to iterate over all the J's for it. Okay, and you need to facilitate that. If you want this, then I would say in any bit manipulation question, where for I you need to process the next whole array, like it is told that for give the value of I and with all the values of the next array. If this kind of thing is asked, जब भी ऐसा पूछा कि एक एलिमेंट के लिए बाकी सब, फिर नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट के लिए बाकी सब, तीसरे एलिमेंट के लिए बाकी सब, if this thing is asked, the most simplest thing you can do is you need to think in terms of bit. You need to think in terms of bit. क्या होता है इसका मतलब, क्या ही बोलना चाहता है सिद्धार्थ? What Siddharth wants to say here? Let's see this. Let's say the very first sample test case here is 1, 7 and 7. Okay, the value here is 6. क्या ही बोलना चाहता है सिद्धार्थ, क्या ही बोलता है? Okay, so see, so the binary representation of 1 here would be just 1. Okay, let's change the color. The binary representation of 1 here is just 1. The binary representation of 8 is, that is 8 minus 1 is equals to 7, that 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, that is 4 plus 2 plus 1. Same goes for this. And this would be 0 0 0. अब देखो, comparatively the calculation is becoming easy. How? Like see, for 1, I would just see the contribution of this bit first this bit. So I would say this one when clubbed with this one and one. So one and one and with what? कितना गंदा and भी लिखता हूँ ना. One and with one and one with one plus one. That is two. Okay. So one zero. That would make it what? That would make it zero. Okay. If one is done. If next one and one is done, again we would have zero. So this would contribute zero to our answer. Okay. How? Because 1 plus 1, this is what? This is the summation of these two. So 1 plus 1 would make it the this would make it 2, that is 0. Okay, fair enough. This would contribute 0 to the answer. The very next one, let's talk about the very 0 1 1. So 0, okay, 0, this is 1, 0 and 0 and 0 is something. Okay, so 0 and 1 is not really matching. Okay, so now अब करे तो करे क्या? So just take out that bit. So see, this is, if we take out the middle bit, that is 0 0 0, if we just keep the middle bit intact, that is, if I just take out the middle bit, okay, this one would be 1, like I'm just taking out the middle bit. So now I need to do and between all of this to get the contribution of the second bit. So I can just remove the upper bits. Okay, now see, 1 and with, okay, let's do this thing, 0 0 0 0 and with 1 0 and with 0 0, like we are computing this one. So 0 0, okay, 1 0 and 0 0, this would be 0 and this would be 1. Okay, so this would again become 1 0. So that's why the value would be 0 again. Then again with this, the value would be 0 again. Now let us consider 1 0 and with 1 0 and with 1 0 and 1 0. That is 0, and this would be 2. That would make it 1 0 0 1 0 0. So ऐसे करके what we can really do is we can compute the and with, like सारे and को अलग अलग करना. Okay, like we would find the contribution of the last bit, find the contribution of each of the bits separately, find the contribution of each of the bits separately. इसका एक कंट्रीब्यूशन पूरा कैलकुलेट करो, इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन कैलकुलेट करो, इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन कैलकुलेट करो. We have this. Okay, the idea is to find the contribution of the bits in different arenas. Okay, first just tell me if this idea is clear or not. Find the contribution of each bit to make up the answer. I can't really check your code vhack because if you send the code here, it won't get displayed. Like if you observe, like YouTube algorithm doesn't really allows sending codes in the chat. Okay, it won't really detect. Okay, just a little bit quick. Now, अब तो मुझे समझ में आ गया that we need to compute each of this bit separately. Okay, each of the bits को separately manage करना है. Okay, like we would come to the very first bit, but still मुझे सबका combination फिर set करना ही पड़ रहा है. Like see, we are talking about the last bit. Okay, so first we need to see this with this, again this with this, then we need to see this with this. So we are again doing n square operation for each of the bits. Okay, this is just like, so that तुम तो वही बोल रहे हो, like let's say number of the values are 10 to the power 5, so around 30 bits would be there. So 30 times you would be doing the same n square operation. क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी we would need to do the same thing now. So now we need to optimize this per bit one, per bit operation one. Okay. अब per bit operation thing को कैसे optimize करें? कैसे optimize करें? देखो. If we have something like the second bit is set. So the second bit is set. So for anyone whose value is 1, second bit is set. That value would be, second bit is set like 5, 4 and 9. 5, 4, 5 and 4. So the binary representation of 5 would be 1, 0, 1 and 4. For 4, the binary representation would be, the binary representation would be 1, 0, 0. Okay. And if I add both of them and then do the binary representation, for 9, the value would be what? The value would be, देखो, the value would be 8 plus 1. That is something like this. That is 1, 0, 0, 1. So the answer to this would be 0 if you observe. Okay. 5 plus 5 and with 4 and then and with 9. Let us prove this. Let us just check this. 5 and with 5, 5 and with 5 and with 9. It is equal to 1. कहाँ से 1 आया? 5, that is 5. Okay, 5 plus 4. Sorry, मुझे थोड़ा सा मुझे लग ही रहा था, that's why I checked. लग ही रहा था, हाँ यही वाला एग्जाम है, मुझे लगा थोड़ा सा तो लगा. Okay, I just took this. This is 8. This is just nothing other than 8 plus 1. Okay, so this value would be 5 plus 4 plus 1, 5 and with, so this value would be 1. So 2 to the power 0. Let's take some different example. इसमें थोड़ा दिमाग घूम रहा. Okay, so we would have, let's take the example one only. 7 and 7. 7 and 7. देखो 7, 7. So the binary representation of 7 is how much? 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 2. This is the binary representation of 7. This is again the binary representation of 7. Ab 7 plus 7, because A and with B and then and with A plus B. So and with A plus B kitna hota hai? That is the binary representation of 14. The binary representation of 14 would be 8, then 8 plus 4 plus 2. So 8 plus 4 plus 2. So 8 plus 4 plus 2. So this would be the binary representation 1110. I would just check this, please. I'm sorry, but I would just check this. Binary representation बाइनरी रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑनलाइन, आई वुड जस्ट चेक दिस प्लीज, क्योंकि ये पता नहीं क्यों कन्वर्ट बाइनरी टू डेसिमल, डेसिमल टू बाइनरी। हाँ चलो बढ़िया। 14 क्या हो गया रे, कहाँ गया? 1110। हाँ सही है, बट पता नहीं क्यों आई एम डूइंग मिस्टेक ओवर हियर। आई एम डूइंग दिस एवरी डे बट टुडे आई एम मेकिंग मिस्टेक। चलो कोई नहीं, चलो बाइनरी रिप्रेजेंटेशन मैंने लिख लिया। अब सी, अब देखो द मैजिक हियर। सो आई कैन ऑब्जर्व that this would make it as 1. This would make it as 1. That is why the value is 4 plus 2, that is 0, that is 6. The answer is 6. But why is this value 1? Okay, why is this? When a value would be when a value would contribute, when a value won't contribute. Okay, so see, देखो यहाँ पे एक small observation है। देखो ये दोनों 1 है और ये भी 1 है। Okay, so ये दोनों 1 है। If this is 1, these two are 1, 1 is getting contributed. These two are also 1, but here 0 is getting contributed. यहाँ पे भी 1 1 है. So how do we know when it would be a 0, when it would be a 1? When it would be a 0, when it would be a 1? कैसे समझ में आएगा कब वो 0 होगा कब वो 1 होगा? बिना ऐड किए. Suppose I want to know without adding, I want to know if that would be 0 or 1. So देखो, here the trick lies over here. Let's talk about this one. If I talk about this one, this would be something like this: 1 0 0. Here this would also be 1 0 0. Okay, if this value is 1 0 0, okay, if this value is 1 0 0, this is 1 0 0. Okay, this value is 0, this value is 0, this value would become 2. So that would be, that is this. This is what? This value is 1 1. Okay, 1 and 1 because ये last bit है. Okay, this is also 0. ये और ये सेम है, बट स्टिल इसके एडिशन में ये 0 आ रहा है, इसके एडिशन में ये 1 आ रहा है. ओके, तो ये जो बिट बाय बिट कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो कैसे निकालोगे? हाउ वुड यू फाइंड द बिट बाय बिट कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ देम? हाउ वुड यू फाइंड इट? The bit by bit contribution, the bit by bit contribution can be found out by doing this. देखो, whenever, am I clear to this point? जैसे what is the objective? तो यहाँ पर भी 0 0 है और यहाँ पे 1 आ रहा है, यहाँ पर 1 1 है बट यहाँ पे 0 आ रहा है. ऐसा क्यों? और कब 0 आएगा कब 1 आएगा, ये हमारा कंफ्यूजन है. अगर 0 और 1 मुझे पता चल गया तो दिस 2 are 1 and the last one would also become 1. तो जब लास्ट वन 1 होगा, this, if everyone is 1, then only we would get a 1 according to bit manipulation. If everyone is not 1, we would get a 0 according to bit manipulation. तो जो bit by bit में कब मुझे पता चलेगा? How would I know it without them adding and then, मतलब जो conventional method बोला गया a plus b and with a plus b, वो बिना किए मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा कब वो कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा आंसर में, कब वो कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं करेगा आंसर में? I don't really know that. First tell me if I know what is the objective or not. Okay, screen was not. Damn. Okay. Okay, just give me a minute. ये लॉस मुझे पर्सनल अटैक आया तो थोड़ा सा पानी पीने तो फिर आई एम डूइंग इट अगेन ऑल ओवर अगेन लाइक आई वुड हैव द फ्रेश. जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट.
tough day at work. Give me a few seconds. Just let me read the chats. And just let me see the chat. कुछ नया मजेदार कुछ. Have to start again as screen was not visible. ठीक है भैया. I would start again. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just read out the chats, previous chats. Damn, I'm still seeing this. I'm still seeing ads. I think I should buy premium or something. चलो. Yes, my screen is visible now. Okay. Now see this. देखो. The very first idea. So I would just go through it. So now the idea is that you need to do this. You need to, what you need basically need to do is you need to have ing. You need to find all, like you need to consider all ing and then give out the result. But you would need n square operation, and n square won't really help because 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 is equals to 10 to the power 10, which is greater than 10 to the power 8. So this would get a time limit exceeded. So this is a bit problem, and for one element you need to process all the rest of the elements. जब भी ऐसा कुछ आए, then what I say is process in terms of bits. Process in terms of bits. बट जब बिट पे भी बात करने लगो, जब बिट पे भी बात करने लगो, then for each of the bit, like let's say this is a b c d e, let's say these are all the bits, then I need to again see if this is working with this, this is working with this, this is working with this, this is working with this. The very next one is this is working with this is working with this. Basically I need to again process nc2 pairs. I need to again process nc2 pairs. So this is again big O of n square. But wait, there is a small catch in this. Okay, the small catch is the very small catch here is, if you observe. Yes. Okay. I think yes, Dwivedi was the person who was knocking the door. Okay. Very small catch here is okay. The very small catch here is that if you have something like 1 0 1, and if you have 1
0 0. Okay. So if I want to know that if this bit would contribute in the answer or not, why? Because these two and the sum of them should also be 1. सिर्फ ये दोनों 1 हो इससे काम नहीं चलेगा, सम भी 1 होना चाहिए. ओके, सम में भी इसका आंसर 1 होना चाहिए. सो नाउ सी, this is equal to 1, this is equal to 0. And if this value is just 1 1, this would become 1 0. So see, this is not, we are not able to contribute to the answer. This is not able to contribute to the answer 0. Okay, कब ये contribute करेगा? See, 1 1, if something like here as this, यहाँ पे contribute करेगा. See, for this bit, if I want to know if this would contribute for this bit or not, then see, I would just add the bits. 1 1, this would become, I would just carry it, this would become 0. I would again, this is becoming 3, so I would become this. So see, now this bit, if I want to know if this bit is contributing or not, this bit would only contribute if the previous values give a carry to it. जब यहां पर एक carry आएगा, see देखो, to make 1 and the sum of them is also 1. जब 1 1 और sum भी 1 होगा तब जाके वो 1 कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा आंसर में. अगर ये वाला बिट सेट होगा a में, if let's say this is a and this is b, ये वाला बिट a में सेट होगा, ये वाला बिट b में सेट होगा और sum में भी this should be set, then only it would contribute to the answer. I know that. So now if you observe, even though these two bits are set, you can see the sum of them is now contributing. But here, these two bits are set, but in the sum, in after the sum, this is not contributing, so this would become 0. अब ये पता करना है when it will contribute to the sum, when this would not contribute to the sum. Now, let us see some more examples. अब देखो, what I meant to say is, even though this is 1, पीछे से एक कैरी यहाँ पे आना ही पड़ेगा. So if this is value is 1, if value is 1 and this value is 1 1, then see, this won't contribute. Why? This is becoming 1 0, this would become, okay, 1 1, this would become 2, okay, this would become 3, okay, so this is this. So see, यहाँ पे this contributed. क्यों? यहाँ पे carry वाला आया. Okay, whenever this is carried, जब भी ये carry होने लायक रहे, this would contribute something. If I just make this as 1 1 0 and this as 1 0 1, see, now this bit won't contribute. This is 1, this is again 1, this is 1 0. So see, देखो यहाँ पे 0 contribute नहीं हुआ. So when will the bit contribute? The bit would contribute in two conditions. The bit would be contributed when for both of them this bit is turned on. For both A and B, this bit is turned on. So A and B turn on होना चाहिए. दोनों में वो bit turn on होना चाहिए. Next, what is the next? Sorry. What is the next step? The next step is, you would observe that whenever this value is greater than say previous kitne 0, like 0 and 1 is greater than or equal to 2 to the power 1. यहाँ पे देखो, these all values are not greater than equal to 2 to the power 1. देखो ये वाला कहाँ हो गया? Okay, greater than, okay, this is greater than, this is let's say 2, this is 1, this is not greater than, this is greater than, this is 3. जब भी 3 आएगा, this would contribute. जब 2 आ रहा है, this is not able to contribute. So this, whenever the for the ith index a and b is for the, like for a and b, when the ith bit is turned on and it is greater than equal to 2 to the power I minus 1, it is greater than equal to 2 to the power I minus 1, they would contribute to our answer. Okay, now अब point आ जाता है. So what we would do is we would just keep them in a 2D, like 2 point, like we would now do the 2 pointer thing. So if this and this, if the sum, मुझे sum ज़्यादा चाहिए 2 of I से, ये sum भी ज़्यादा चाहिए. Okay, when the sum is greater than 2 of I. So we have, now this is just like the 2 pointer approach where we keep L and R. So whenever L and R, whenever the sum is less than 2 to the power I minus 1, okay, then we would, what we should do, okay, L and R. So if we want to increase the sum of L and R, we need to move forward the L. Agar wo less, if it is more than 2 to the power I minus 1, if it is more than, we first include it to our answer, and then we would make that R go minus minus. Okay, so we would sort the values and then we would find this. So let me just show you this 2 pointer implementation, because that is the most confusing part. Okay, so now यहाँ पर helper function we would make ln r here. Okay, मुझे पता है जब भी वो bit 2 to the power I से ज़्यादा होगा, that would contribute to the sum. So that is 2 to the power I, that is contributing to the sum. So res plus I minus L and mod of. Else we would increase the sum by going this side. We want 2 to the power I greater. Then only the sum of them would also be equal to 1. मैं फिर से बताता हूँ. देखो 1 0 1 and 1 1 0, that won't really contribute. Like see, this bit won't contribute. Like if I want to check if this bit would contribute or not, that is the second bit would contribute or not, that they won't contribute to the answer. Why? Because 1 and with 1 and with some of them, so some of them is what, 1 and 1 1, 0 and 1 1, and this is 2, that would make it 0, and here it would come 1. So this won't contribute to the answer. So 1 and 1 1 1 0 is equals to 0. But when it would contribute, whenever we have a condition like this, 1 1, and let's say this is 0, 1 and 1 2. So जब भी एक, whenever we have this carry thing, it would contribute to the answer. And when we would have this carry condition, whenever I से कम का bit is greater than or equal to 2 to the power I, ये वाला part जब 2 to the power I से ज़्यादा होगा, then it would give you a carry to this. Okay, so मुझे 2 to the power I उनका sum ज़्यादा चाहिए. अगर ये 2 to the power I है, ये 2 to the power I minus 1 इतना ज़्यादा चाहिए. This part should be greater than 2 to the power I. So to make it greater, what I'm doing is I'm taking all the values in that segment which are turned on. I'm taking all the values which are turned on. Let's say this is 1 0 0, this is 1 1 1 1, and this is 1 0 0 again. I'm taking all the bits and then I'm sorting it. Now, after sorting, if this and this is less than वो लेफ्ट ओवर वैल्यूज, ये जो लेफ्ट ओवर वैल्यूज से छोटा है, if this left it if it is less than leftover values, that is 2 to the power I minus 1, then we would increase this. If that is more, we would come here to decrease the value. Okay, so अब क्या करूंगा, I would explain the solution now, it would get more, you would understand it more. We would consider 30 bits. If for the current element the bit is turned on, we would just insert them in a vector. Then we would sort that vector so that we can do 2 pointers over it. Okay, then we are sending it to a function. A function, what does this function see? We are just doing 2 pointers over here. If L and R plus is like, what we want is, we want L and R, L plus R, we want to find all L plus R greater than 2 to the power I. So if that value is greater than 2 to the power I, we would add the value and we would do R minus minus. If that is less, we would do L plus plus. If that is greater than equal to, we would include that to our answer. It's just like the contribution of each bit with the fusion of 2 pointers. Comparatively a very complex problem, but if you know bit masking and if you understand and they fuse together, then only you would understand this. That's it for today. Tell me the point where you are not able to understand. This is the solution. I've got it. Anyone who has not got it, Satyajit Kumar, tell me. See, this is the reality. You should upgrade yourself to understand the last one. For the bit manipulation part is clear, but the transition point to pointers for less. Okay, I would give you a hint. See, the objective is एकदम ध्यान से समझना. मैं बस तरीका बता दे रहा हूँ. Then you learn 2 pointers and then come back to this video. देखो, दोनों बिट सिर्फ टर्न ऑन होने से वो आंसर में 1 कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं करेगा. दोनों का सम में भी वो बिट टर्न ऑन होना चाहिए. ओके, अब दोनों का सम में भी वो बिट टर्न ऑन होना चाहिए. अब दोनों का सम में वो बिट टर्न ऑन तभी हो रहा है जब पिछले सारे बिट से कोई एक चीज कैरी फॉरवर्ड हो रहा है. मतलब कोई एक बिट कैरी फॉरवर्ड हो रहा है तभी वो बिट टर्न ऑन हो रहा है. क्यों कैरी फॉरवर्ड से क्या मतलब? 1 + 1 + 1. देखो ये दोनों को तो 1 रहना ही होगा और ऊपर से कहीं 1 आ जाए तो दिस बिकम्स 3, दैट इज 1 1. सो तब ये बिट जाके टर्न ऑन होता है. आई वुड लेट मी एक्सप्लेन. आज तो मैं जिद पकड़ लिया हूँ. Okay, now see, the point is I would see the contribution of all of them. Okay, this is 1, this is 1. Okay, this would only contribute to the answer if, let's say, this is. So if I want to know for this 1 0 and 1 0, this would only contribute to the answer if we have overflowing 1 from this side. When will this 1 overflow? If this value is greater than, if this value is I is greater than 2 to the power I minus 1, तभी यहाँ से एक overflow होके यहाँ आएगा and that would make it more sense. कैसे, कब होगा ऐसे? Let me give you an example. See, 7 and 7. Okay, 7 and 7 is what? 1 1 1 1 1 1. If I want to know if this bit would contribute to the answer or not, I would just see these 2 bits. These 2 bits, this is 0 1 2. So if these 2 bits are greater than equal to 2 to the power 1, because this is the second bit, so previous bit is this. So if this bit is greater than 2 to the power 1, then only we would have a carry forward of 1 and then this bit would become 1. So now we know whenever for A and B, and we want to know for the ith bit, if for A and B, if it is greater than 2 to the power I minus 1, then it would be considered in the answer. Ab, how this transition of low pointers became a solution. We have something like A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Now, if this and this, if let's say these both, if it is, and these are all in the sorted form, if that is less than, अगर मुझे पता चल गया this is less than 2 to the power I and they didn't contribute, this didn't contribute. If let's say A plus E, if let's say A plus E is, the value is less than 2 to the power I and they are not contributing, so now I want to make it more so that they would contribute. To make it more, I need to make this pointer go on this side, then B and E would have better sum, and in there that would be more than 2 to the power I. And if these two are greater than 2 to the power I, then these all, B with C, B with D and B with E, all will have 2 to the power I greater. Okay, sorry, I just drew the opposite one, sorry. अगर B और C मिल के 2 to the power I से ज़्यादा सम ला रहा है, then C with E would also have the sum greater than 2 to the power I. D with E would also have the sum greater than 2 to the power I. हाँ सही है, screen is visible. So that is the point. Whenever we hit that it is greater than 2 to the power I, we add R minus L. Whenever it is less than 2 to the power I, whenever it is less than 2 to the power I, we make this go to this side, that is L plus plus. Okay, this would give me all the combinations. So the explanation is simple. If this is a sorted array and this value and this value have 2 to the power I greater, then this would also have with this would also have with this. Easily I am just adding that so that we don't need to find our answer. This is just like find all pair with sum greater than n or something. Count pairs with the given sum, count number of pairs greater or equal to the greater target. Given a sorted array, find all the pairs which have sum greater than equal to this. Yes, I found this question somewhere in a Code Forces blog. Now am I clear? To some kind of, yes. So now am I clear with the solution? Give me a quick yes or no. अब बताओ, am I clear? I know this is kind of that intuition, मतलब आना ही problem है. Now give me a 0 or 1 please. I did a lot of hard work. At least I want to know what is the solution, like what is the end part of this. It's clear? For anyone whom it is not clear, tell me those. Like you know 2 pointers to this extent, you know bit manipulation to this extent, you think you are well equipped, but you didn't understand the solution. Tell me that. Anyone who thinks there is, give me a 0. I would take that as a feedback and improve it in the next discussion. Batao. Make sense? No one? So that's it for today. I did a lot of hard work to explain you this. Okay, like the last problem was a very kind of a tough problem, and I still tried to connect all the dots. Okay, fair enough. So that's it for today. If you liked up this stream, or if you were here till this point, consider liking the video and leaving a comment on this. And if you're watching this stream in the recorded version, feel free to comment on this video so that I would be encouraged and I would be digging up the session more. That's it for today. Thank you.